So Joe asks, race is a social construct, right? Race, this idea that we can group people together on the basis of our physical characteristics. Where's black and end and white begin? That we don't know. And why not stop talking about race? How much, let me ask you this question in Georgia. Do you guys talk about race a lot in Georgia? You don't talk about it? Just ethnicity, really? So wait, hang on. So this is the birthplace of white people. Not really, but you guys really don't, you're not talking about race.
It's really like only white people. Like I grew up around only like white people.
Yeah, only white people. How do you distinguish? Do you see physical differences in people and then make distinctions as to like what part of Georgia they're from and so on?
I mean, yeah, but like it's so small, like the country. Like,
yeah.
You know a lot of people already.
So there aren't a lot of, yeah. I mean, I think myself of Georgians who I know, they have very similar features, From a city with a very diverse culture in the UK, do you feel you stand out less white in America than you do in, how do you say, Leicester?
Leicester, yeah.
Leicester.
Or Leicester for Americans, yeah.
Yeah, for American, dude. You want to be cool, say Leicester. Memorize that. Don't say Leicester. Yeah, that's a good question for you.
Yeah, Leicester's known for being one of the most diverse cities in England or even the world. I grew up with guys who were Hindi, Sikh, Muslim. My mum's Protestant, my dad's Catholic. South Asians, Eastern Asians, like everywhere. So Leicester is kind of a combination of all those. So I don't know. Depends where you go. I feel like there's any city, depends where you go in Leicester. There's a place called the Golden Mile, which is some of the best curry you'll ever eat. But that's a lot of South Asians kind of populate there. So I definitely feel I stand out going to that part of Leicester. Whereas where I'm from, which is kind of southern Leicester, which is a lot more farms and countryside. So
here at Penn State, do you think about yourself as being white more or less than you do back home?
No, I think it's pretty similar. Yeah.
Do you think about yourself? How do you think about yourself in terms of being black? Compared to back home in Long Island?
I mean, Long Island specifically, I would say I do think about it because the area I live now, it's predominantly white. And then here, it's like really predominantly white. Like when I see black people, it's like I'm not seeing that often. I'm seeing way more white people than black people.
Where do you feel like you're more yourself as a Haitian guy?
I would say definitely at home, like in my house, because it's pretty much like no one speaks English there. Like most of the time I'm speaking Creole. I'm eating Haitian food, which is pretty much what I ate most of the time growing up. Like I didn't really eat American food or anything like that.
So let me ask you this question. Like now, after we've had this conversation, you talk about like white people back home. When you think about white people back home, I want you to think about like these the white people back home are just like these white people here. They're very different. They're not just white people, How is that? Like when I say that to you, like does that, like, is there any rewiring that happens for you?
I mean, I'd say I definitely kind of analyze more when I see a white person, because I'd say mostly when I see like a white person, I literally just think it's just like a white person. Like I don't really look into depth, considering if I see a black person, I'll think, where are they from? What's their background?
Yeah, so like think about the class that we did a couple weeks ago with Team Black as opposed to Team White, and think about those many differences with black students who were up here. That's like that. This is just as significant in that way.
I guess for everyone up here that isn't from America, do you wish there were more areas of representation for your culture, like Poland or English, Australian?
I don't think I'm here to meet other Australians. Like I've kind of I lived there my whole life. Like I go back during the breaks. It's kind of nice coming back and being around Americans after being around Australians, and kind of vice versa. Like you kind of get the best of both worlds, and I feel like if I were to like stay in like some Australian bubble where we just talk about like the footy and whatever, it's probably not like, it's probably like, what's the point of being here? That's kind of the way I see it.
So there's somebody else in class who's from Australia. Wait, who's from Australia? There's two of you here. Wait, am I missing? Or who's Australian? Maybe not from Australia, but Australian. Hey, can you, bro? That's you, right? All right, we'll have you up at some point. Can you answer this question from Layla? Because you went you're like really Polish, man. Even in the U.S. Like, check out like her story, Olivia's story.
So I would say no. I say that there's enough representation of Polish people, especially in like the town that I grew up in, my hometown. So I'm from Linden, New Jersey, and it's like right next to like Newark Airport, around that area. I would say there is a Polish store on probably every single corner of that town. I'd say like there's like 8 or 9 in the whole entire town, and it's a pretty small town. I went to a Polish CCD for like 8 years of my life. Polish lectures, like Polish school. All of my Polish friends around me like went to Polish school also, and they got like their like seal of biliteracy in Polish. So like I would say I feel like there is enough representation here. Mainly just because I grew up in a very Polish populated hometown.
Hey, Canadians don't have that here, do they? Like there aren't neighborhoods where Canadians hang out and live and stuff. You don't have it either with Georgian. Where's the largest population of Georgians in the U.S.? Do you know?
New York.
In New York? Like in Queens?
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn? So you guys hang out together? Like, are there stores and restaurants and things?
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Would I know them if I'm walking down the street? I would know.
Yeah, they would have like Georgian flags on it and everything.
Should one identify with the country they're born in or from where their ancestors are from? Let me ask you guys.
Well, I usually like tell people I'm from here, but then like if it comes up, I'll be like, well, I'm Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't like I would never say I'm like American or like I do like use Canadian more.
Because
I'm not American.
Okay, all right, cool. Does it feel like it just separates you also? It's just like, okay.
Not really. Like, I feel like because the countries are so close just in, like, directionally, like,
Yeah.
I don't feel as separate.
Yeah.
So being from New York, since there's a lot of diversity, a lot of people who I was friends with, their parents were also immigrants. So whenever like I was talking to people or like I met someone new and like we asked, oh, where are you from? Like we meant like, where are your parents from? Since that was like primarily who was around me. But I know like if I'm introducing myself to someone, I do say I'm from Brooklyn, but my parents are from Europe because I do feel like my culture is more European than it is American. Even though I was born, like raised in in America, I did go to Europe for the summers for months at a time. Like I would spend the time
You speak
there.
Czech.
And I speak Czech fluently, yeah.
Yeah. So so that's something that you.
Yeah.
Hey, are you proud of that?
Yes, I am.
Are you? How about you being Haitian, man? How is that for you?
I'd say it's a big part of my identity. Like, if you were to talk to my friends, they would all know I'm Haitian. They know about my culture. Like, I speak Creole a lot to them, even though they don't understand me sometimes, like, just because.
So if people call you Black or African American, how often do you say, actually, I'm Haitian?
I don't really say nothing if they say I'm Black, but when they say I'm African American, I'll correct them and say I'm not African American, I'm Haitian American.
Uh-huh. Because?
That's just like where my parents are from, like the household I was raised in.
And you feel proud of that?
Yeah.
Bro, do you feel proud of the fact that you're Georgian? It's like how, and Canadian, you feel proud? It's different with you guys. Do you feel proud, like how often do you emphasize that I'm Polish? Like.
Same with what Sophia said. Like, I'll tell them I'm from New Jersey because that's where I like spent my whole life growing up. But if it does get brung up, I'm like, oh, I'm Polish. I'm from Poland. So.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. I mean, this is the thing, right? When you're immigrants and it's part of your culture, it's like it's part of the thing. Okay, listen. Dude, hey, can we have a round of applause? Nice job, man.